Many were astonished when Dolly Parton, at 79 years old, revealed the results of a DNA test, which they had assumed she was keeping hidden. Rumors regarding Dolly's family and any children she may have kept from public view persisted for a long time. She didn't want to hide or prove anything, so she took a DNA test to find out where she came from. Although the results did not disclose any stunning information, they did indicate Dolly's large and loving family tree in Tennessee. So, how precisely does this DNA work? Come along as we reveal the truth about these rumors and how they turned out. How she handles allegations about her family's paternity. The world anxiously awaited Dolly Parton's 79th birthday, as rumors circulated that she had tested her DNA. As a country music icon who had brought solace to millions with her infectious grin, colorful wardrobe, and heartfelt lyrics for decades, many were curious to see what it might reveal about her. While she shone brightly, some worried that the results would reveal truths that had been dormant beneath the surface. Onlookers drew in, curious as to if there was a deeper meaning to Dolly's renowned generosity. They were curious as to whether the mother of the universe had any offspring of her own, concealed from prying eyes. She had spent her entire life in the limelight, and this was no ordinary gossip. A lot of people thought it was important to know this, as Dolly had always been treated like family. Still, many details of her own family life remained a mystery. Rumors regarding Dolly's possible extramarital affairs have circulated for a long time. Her kindness, generosity, and love for children made her a magnet for people everywhere she went, and the tales she would tell about them would often expand. Her profound concern for others prompted many to question whether her reticence to discuss her own motherhood informed her compassionate nature. It was speculated that she may have opted for a more secluded life, away from the limelight, illuminating the lives of others through her charitable work and music, as she chose not to have children of her own. As far as anyone could tell, she was a mother to all. Miley Cyrus, who was Dolly's goddaughter, frequently compared her to a second mother. During Miley's most formative years, Dolly was by her side, providing solace, wise counsel, and an unconditional, everlasting love. The role of the mother prompted even more conversation. Curious as to whether Dolly had put motherhood into practice, given that she had secretly done it before. Despite the constant murmurs, Dolly's friendliness and sense of humor remained untarnished. She carried on with grace and dignity in the face of these rumors. She proved to everyone that she could gracefully handle even the most sensitive questions by responding with kind smiles and laughing instead. Despite people's attempts to pry into her private life, she led an honest life, showing her followers and family her undying affection. Among the longest-lasting relationships in show business, Dolly and Carl Dean's has been going strong for quite some time. But they were so secretive about their marriage that speculation over Dolly's private life continued unabated. All eyes were on the pair as they raised their child, but others questioned whether Dolly had secretly adopted a child from another family or whether the couple had decided to keep their child out of the public view. People were holding their breath for the statement that would put things in motion after hearing that she had tested her DNA. Would Dolly come clean about a secret child she had kept hidden? Would the results reveal an unorthodox family tree that contradicted common belief? The whirlwind of these inquiries piqued curiosity and prompted further discussion. However, the world was reminded of Dolly's true identity when the truth was revealed. Allow me to briefly review the health issues she encountered as she aged before we delve into the specifics of this DNA. She is in her 70s and has experienced health problems. Dolly had severe back discomfort in her 70s, to the point that she had to get surgery. This aching was far but minor. I mean, the kind that makes you want to stay in bed all day long. The kind that nags at her like a shackle, constantly bringing to her attention the fact that something was amiss. It was time for Dolly to get some assistance with her body. She had been performing, touring, and working nonstop for years. After deciding to have surgery to address the issue, she slept for a while. Distancing herself from her hectic life was difficult for Dolly, but she understood the importance of healing. For her admirers, she hoped to return with renewed vigor, ready to provide joy via song once more. Dolly encountered yet another common obstacle, kidney stones, as she progressed through her recuperation. The agony from these small stones can be so intense that it stops you in your tracks. Dolly had to get kidney stones removed in 2015, and the agony was so bad that she might have skipped work that year. However, Dolly made sure she was healthy, saw to it that she received the medical attention she required. She persisted in her recovery despite the rumors and fears that plagued her. Word on the street was that she was dealing with something far worse, but Dolly quietly set the record straight. After getting her kidney stones treated, she will be well. She wished for everyone to know that she would not be scared and would press on anyway. Dolly started to feel the effects of arthritis, one of many physical changes that come with being in your 70s. Joint stiffness and pain are symptoms of this illness, transforming everyday motions into painful experiences. Dolly had to find a way to deal with the pain of arthritis even though she loved performing live, playing guitar, and waving to her audience. On occasion, the aches and pains would strike just when she needed to put on a performance or tape an episode. Despite her suffering, Dolly never missed a chance to be there for those who cared about her. She modified her performance by resting when she was exhausted and by paying more attention to her physical health. At the same time that she persisted in sharing her talent with everyone. Because of her health problems, Dolly may have chosen to move away from the limelight. Arthritis, kidney stones, and severe back pain are serious issues. Many would have preferred to fade away into oblivion, away from the prying eyes of the media and the masses. In spite of this, Dolly decided to press on. She kept on her music recording, TV appearances, theme park management, and global book program support for youngsters. Even though her body was exhausted and hurting, she persisted because she loved people and wanted to help them. Taking care of yourself, sleeping when you're sick, and letting yourself recover before getting back to your dreams are all acceptable, as Dolly demonstrated to everyone. She never made an effort to conceal or downplay her difficulties. She chose to view them as inevitable challenges that needed resilience and perseverance. The fact that she overcame health obstacles does not imply that life is without joy or meaning, as her narrative demonstrates. There will be times when we need to be patient and understanding, and we can respond to these times by being kind with ourselves. Who, though, was there to support her through all of these difficulties and health scares? Carl Dean, her spouse, and rumors circulated about her. It was 1964 in Nashville when Dolly and Carl first crossed paths outside a laundry. When Dolly was 18, Carl was 21. Something about Dolly stood out to Carl the moment they crossed paths. 2 years down the road, in 1966, they tied the knot, beginning a path that would continue for decades. Carl opted for a low-key existence away from the limelight as Dolly's fame skyrocketed. He was content to stay at home and run his asphalt paving business while Dolly gigged all over the globe. How millions of fans could support Dolly Parton while she remained married to someone who couldn't perform on stage with her was a mystery to many. Inquiring minds began fabricating tales regarding their union, seeking to ascertain the sincerity of their happiness. Speculation even arose that Dolly was having extramarital encounters and that Carl and Dolly were in an open marriage. Because Carl and Dolly rarely made public appearances together, admirers began to wonder why, and the suspicions began to spread. But Dolly never once hid the fact that she and Carl loved each other very much. They were able to keep their marriage intact by accepting and honoring one another's individual decisions. Carl liked to keep to himself and disliked being the center of attention, to which Dolly paid due regard. Neither of them ever tried to stop the other from achieving professional success. She was never one to make him go to public gatherings or award ceremonies. Thanks to this mutual regard, they were able to develop as a couple while still allowing each other room to be themselves. The couple, Dolly and Carl, took delight in the little things in life while others murmured about their marriage. Away from the hustle and bustle of the outside world, they cherished their time spent together at home. Long dinners and rural drives brought them closer together, and they discovered humor in the mundane things that life threw at them. Living their marriage quietly, with care and understanding, was more important than flaunting their love to the world. Dolly and Carl may have been hiding family history or perhaps having children behind their backs, according to the rumors. Many pondered whether Dolly's caring personality betrayed her secretive past as a mother. As word got out about Dolly's charitable efforts and her position as Miley Cyrus's godmother, the rumors began to circulate. However, plain was the truth. Dolly and Carl's decision to forego having a family brought them contentment. They channeled their love into helping youngsters all around the globe. There were also DNA speculations circulating around Dolly, with some claiming that the results would unearth long-lost relatives. The extent to which people were interested in Dolly's personal life was demonstrated by these rumors, which in no way included Carl. Dolly remained composed and concentrated on her singing, family, and Carl's love as rumors swirled about her private life. Dolly claims that the combination of solitude and humor contributed to the longevity of her marriage. She and Carl kept their private lives out of the spotlight, and they laughed through the tough times. They picked up the ability to unconditionally support one another and to respect each other's space. Their marriage remained strong because of this harmony between solitude and happiness. There were many anniversaries that Dolly and Carl shared as the years went by. In a small, intimate ceremony, they renewed their vows to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary, to reawaken the passion that began outside a laundry all those years ago. Carl's pride in Dolly's accomplishments has never wavered, even though he has chosen to remain secret. He may not relish being the center of attention, but he has always been there to back her aspirations. Carl is a huge fan of Dolly Parton's music, and he always tells her to keep performing. Their love is not about flaunting it, but rather about being there for each other in private and having a profound, lifelong connection. The choice that Dolly made not to procreate. Dolly considered starting a family when she was younger. Having a family of her own was something she fantasized about frequently because of her passion for children. As she entered her 30s, she and Carl Dean encountered the typical difficulties encountered by couples attempting to expand their family. Due to health complications, Dolly was unable to conceive and ultimately had to have a partial hysterectomy. Because of this operation, she would never be able to have children, and it was a very intimate and quiet moment in her life that hurt. Dolly could have felt regret, but she chose to view it as a stepping stone on her path. It was her deepest belief that God had other purposes for her life, purposes that would allow her to express love in other ways. Dolly chose not to have a biological family, but to become a surrogate mother to many, sharing her love and financial support with kids all around the world. The lovely initiative she started to provide free books to kids all over the globe, Dolly's Imagination Library, is a prime illustration of this. Her native state of Tennessee was the birthplace of this initiative, which eventually expanded to serve kids all around the world. Dolly's mission in life was to inspire a love of reading in youngsters and to provide them the tools they needed to dream big. She was aware that not all kids had access to books or the adult encouragement they needed to cultivate a love of reading. Many children's lives were touched by Dolly's Imagination Library, which she used to share the joy of learning and creativity with them. With this, Dolly was able to become a surrogate mother to many people. She may not have any biological offspring, but she has left an indelible mark on the lives of youngsters whom she has loved. A lot of people have told her that when her books make kids happy, when her songs make families laugh, and when her words give people hope when times are tough, that's when she feels most fulfilled. Dolly nonetheless managed to build a global family despite her infertility issues. She has lovingly created a family that includes children whose lives are enriched by the books she delivers, individuals whose hearts are soothed by her music, and admirers who find inspiration in her. What may have been a tragedy for her became a gift for others through her charitable legacy as a result of her choice not to have children. She came to love more people than she ever dreamed possible. One of the most lovely aspects of Dolly Parton's life is the love she offers via giving. Even if her smile and voice have long been recognized for their brightness and comfort, Dolly sees helping others as more than just being kind. In doing so, she can build a family that transcends biological ties and affects the lives of others she will never see in person, but who will always know how much she cares. Charity is Dolly's life's work, she says. The Imagination Library, which she began in her native Tennessee county in 1995, is a treasured endeavor of hers. Dolly felt compelled to ensure that every child had access to literature as a way to pay tribute to her father, who was illiterate. She thought every kid should have an opportunity to realize their dreams and develop a love of reading. It all began with a little program, expanded into a worldwide gift, supplying youngsters all around the globe with millions of books. Every book that makes it into a child's hands is a symbol of Dolly's unwavering love and optimism, reminding them that they are noticed and appreciated. For Dolly, this library has become like a second family. It's a means of connecting with kids all around the world and giving them a monthly treat they can't wait for. Since her novels are often read aloud to youngsters as they go to sleep, many families consider Dolly a part of their lives. By bringing people together in this way, Dolly has built a family that is full of joy, wisdom, and optimism, proving that kinship isn't necessary for deep emotional attachment. Even beyond books, Dolly's generosity knew no bounds. Surprising many, Dolly stepped in to assist the world when the pandemic posed a heavy task. With the hope that it will hasten the development of vaccines to safeguard people everywhere, she gave $1 million to fund Moderna's vaccine research. The development of the vaccine was facilitated in part by her talent, depicting the moment when her compassion for others prompted her to take action. Thanks to this, Dolly became a reassuring presence during a terrifying period, showing that there is hope in the power of community. Even in the face of tragedy, Dolly has showed how much she loves her Tennessee home. Dolly rallied to the aid of her neighbors in 2016 when devastating wildfires ravaged the area, destroying homes and killing lives. My People Fund was established by her. They helped those whose homes were destroyed in the flames financially. In the aftermath of their tragedy, each family received monthly aid to assist with rebuilding and finding hope. Instead of merely sending money, Dolly offered solace, assuring those in need that they were not forgotten and that they were loved. In every one of these deeds, Dolly considers the recipients a spiritual relative. She empathizes with the families that must rebuild after a tragedy and the children who read her novels. And to those who maintained optimism in the face of a worldwide health emergency. She doesn't give to get accolades, but rather to demonstrate love in action and demonstrate that generosity can bring people together. Is Parton doing okay now? In the face of public scrutiny and the inevitable effects of aging, how does she manage? We'll have to see how Dolly handles the gaze of the public, her age, and her attractiveness. There are a lot of expectations for how women should behave, appear, and age, yet Dolly Parton, at 79 years old, keeps shining. She still has her dazzling outfits, abundant locks, and infectious grin. However, beneath this surface lies a strong and humorous lady who has deftly dealt with the pressures of growing older, societal standards of beauty, and the scrutiny of the public eye. By embracing faith and self-love as she ages, Dolly teaches the world that growing older is nothing to be ashamed of. When asked about her style choices, Dolly has always been forthright. She wants to feel her best, so she's opted to get plastic surgery. And she has always been comfortable being herself around people. These decisions are an integral element of Dolly's strategy for preserving her best self, for being secure in her own flesh and celebrating the image that gives her life. She is unaffected by the opinions of others when it comes to her desired public persona. She chooses to laugh it off instead, hoping that the harsh comments of others who may criticize her decisions would be muted by her sense of humor. Even though a person's chronological age is often determined by their genes and family history, Dolly has discovered her own definition of aging. Faith, humor, and self-care help her deal with the inevitable changes and wrinkles that come with becoming older. Doing what's best for her, rather than seeking other people's favor, brings her delight. Dolly's method emphasizes that inner beauty and the way one chooses to navigate life's transitions are more important than outward appearances when it comes to defining beauty. A big part of Dolly's story now revolves upon her beauty. Use it to steer her own story. No one can diminish her value since she chooses her own image and makes sure the world knows it. Confidence is something she boldly displays, not only through her colorful clothing and stunning hair, but also as a barrier against the world. Though she is well aware that many people see her with critical eyes, Dolly never lets the criticism or harsh words of others deter her from living her life to the fullest. How Dolly deals with getting older and health problems is greatly influenced by her faith. She continues to have a strong religious faith and frequently seeks solace in it when confronted with physical changes or the difficulties that accompany aging. Even though she faces challenges and discomfort every day, her faith gives her the strength to keep going and to see each day as a joy. Thanks to her faith, she has been able to overcome health issues like arthritis and severe back pain, and she has continued to work and offer joy to her followers despite these hurdles. People who listen to Dolly's songs are more than just fans in her eyes. They are her cousins and nieces. She expresses her strong connection with her supporters by frequently referring to them as her people. As she ages in the spotlight, this bond reassures her that her worth is more than her physical appearance and helps her face the difficulties of aging gracefully. Her admirers don't hold her to a specific standard of beauty. Rather, they are drawn to her positive energy, optimism, and friendliness. Even when others are eager to criticize her decisions, Dolly's connection with her admirers gives her the fortitude to keep shining. Life, in Dolly's view, is a valuable gift, regardless of the results of genetic testing or other biological indicators regarding health or age. The fact that her experience is unique from everyone else's inspires her to approach it with an attitude of thankfulness. Rather than dwelling on the potential drawbacks of aging, she relishes in the opportunity to embrace each day and keep shining her light into the world. Every day is an opportunity to bring delight to others, so she approaches life's changes with hope, even though she knows they are inevitable. People will always have views, but she has learned to bear public scrutiny well because she knows that opinions do not define her value. Despite the constant barrage of negative comments and speculations, Dolly has always remained loyal to herself, finding solace in her faith and humor in the face of adversity. With this outlook, she is able to let go of resentment and move on, concentrating instead on the positive things she can accomplish and the love she can give. A genomic analysis. The unveiling. So what transpired? Dolly Parton has been the target of rumors regarding her possible hidden children and other family members for quite some time. There were rumors that DNA testing would unearth major details about her life. The reality, though, is far more straightforward and reveals Dolly for what she really is, a strong, honest lady who loves her family. Dolly had a big, loving family when she was growing up. The little Tennessee house she and her 11 siblings shared was a constant source of joy, mirth, and hardship. She came from a poor family, but they were incredibly close and helped each other out no matter what. Despite her meteoric rise to fame, Dolly maintained the profound love she had for her family from her childhood. People frequently regard Dolly as a mother figure due to her loving and gentle nature. Her life has been dedicated to serving others, whether it is through her music that brings hope or her charitable work with children. People are speculating that she may have hidden a child to safeguard her career or privacy, which has led to speculation suggesting that she had children surreptitiously. Despite the lack of proof, these rumors persisted in Dolly-related discourse, piquing interest in her private life. Dolly, in her characteristic kind and hilarious fashion, decided not to be affected by these reports. On the contrary, she spoke to them in a lighthearted and honest manner. She went on to say that she has peacefully accepted the fact that she was unable to have children of her own. Despite her initial desire to have a family, Dolly's life took a different turn, and she became a mother to many in other ways, as she has frequently mentioned. Her virtual library, which distributes free books to kids all across the globe, came to represent the extended family she created beyond biological ties. Dolly did say that she was curious in her family tree and considered getting a DNA test, wishing to gain a better understanding of her family's past and origins. It wasn't an inquiry into long-buried family secrets. It was just a casual moment of learning about her roots. There were no surprising revelations, no hidden children, or secrets to unveil when the results were announced. What Dolly already knew was confirmed by the test. Like many families, hers had a long and winding line in Tennessee, with many distant cousins and other links. Dolly has gracefully dealt with the speculations surrounding her children's identities and their parents' paternity. People may enjoy chit-chatting, but the reality is out in the open, as she has humorously brought attention to the stories. She has no secret offspring. Because she has a caring nature, she is sensitive to the fact that people are interested in learning more about her. The things that really matter to her, her music, her faith, and her dedication to helping others, keep her calm, though. Dolly's bravery in addressing these rumors is admirable. She doesn't duck or dodge questions, but she also doesn't let them define her. She approaches them with grace, saying only what she thinks is vital while maintaining her life's focus on compassion and meaning. The refreshing honesty of Dolly serves as a reminder that the truth is frequently far simpler than what gossip suggests, in a society where rumors may cause harm and false stories to flourish. Even while Dolly's DNA test didn't turn up any hidden offspring, it did link her to a richer family tree, which she is thrilled to have discovered. With great pride, she acknowledges that she is descended from a long line of hardworking, loving individuals. Dolly acts and speaks as a mother to many, both children and adults, even though she does not have any children of her own. Regarding Parton's confession, what is your opinion? Leave a comment with your opinions. And if you want to see more fascinating stories about your favorite stars, subscribe, like, and click the bell icon.